What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ariel and I'm the co-founder of Flourish Lashes, and I'm with
the other co-founder.
So we are actually in Orlando right now. I feel like we've been traveling a lot, honestly, and we're actually going somewhere really fun in the next week and a half. And I'm gonna show you guys that, but when that time comes. But this trip was actually a business trip. So we actually came down here for a meeting. We're a part of something called Powerhouse, and they do this thing called Flying Friday, and you can come and you kind of just like talk about your business and
strategize.
Yeah.
New ideas, new projects, things like that.
And kind of talk about where you want to go and what you want to do, and these people kind of guide you and take you there and kind of help you get to where you want to be. So that being said, we flew in last night. We got here really early in the morning, and then we had our meeting just now. It was like 3 hours long, and honestly the time flew by because we were talking about so many great things. And then Josh and I are currently going to go to the gym, but so excited because we literally just spoke about all these amazing things that are basically going to change how we do things and where we're coming at with a lot of the things that we have going on, such as training. I know I spoke about training in one of my other videos, and now we're going to change it even more. But I promise you guys, this year the trainings that we're going to offer are going to be exceptional, just exceptional training. The training that we have now, it's just going to be very, very different. The trainings that people offer now, that we offer now, are very cookie cutter kind of trainings, and I can easily say that because I've seen the difference now. And the things that I want to emphasize with our trainings will be coming up very, very soon. But I promise you, whether you are a brand new lash artist that isn't even a lash artist yet, or if you're looking to get retrained, this is something you're going to want to be a part of, because it is so much more than just a training or just a lash training. We have just like major things happening, right?
100%.
But yeah, so we're gonna go eat, or not eat, actually we did eat. We went to Chick-fil-A, and then we just got these drinks. This one, if you guys know, Alani knew, they don't have this flavor in Canada, so I'm probably gonna end up going back to the gas station and buying more because it's so good. What'd you get?
Bang.
Yeah, but that tastes like vanilla Coke. That
tastes so good.
Yeah, that tastes
It
great.
works good too, though.
Really? Because this isn't,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not feeling this much yet, but I had like 2 sips, so. I'm back in Canada and it's freaking cold. So cold that it's supposed to be a snowstorm today. Like what? I was in 30-degree weather, which is, I don't know what in the Fahrenheit, I think like 80 something like that. Either way, it was hot as hell. And now I'm in bitter cold where I should have put my gloves on. Okay, let's talk all about the specialty curls. If you guys missed it in my last video or previous 2 videos, you'll see that I talked all about the curls, what to know, and how to kind of style your sets correctly with the right curls. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down some specialty curls that you guys asked for, so let's get into it. I figured the best way to show you guys this is a quick little diagram, so I'm going to break this down. Okay, so here you have your L curl, and then you have your M curl. Let's start with the L curl. So as you guys can see, the difference here, so when we're talking about, actually, let me add another visual in here. Okay, so I've added 2 others in here. So we have our C curl and we have our D curl. Now this is just to give you guys the proper visualization of this, but I want you to compare the L and the M to the C and the D. The biggest difference that you see here is that an L and an M all have a flat base. And then if you take a look at our D and C, you'll see that the biggest difference is really the base. Now a D and a C are generally curls, so they are gonna curl upwards, but you can categorize an M and an L more so like angles, because they would literally be a straight line and then another straight line upwards. So that's gonna give it much more of a sharper look and a much more dramatic, sharper, kind of edgier set, as opposed the curl is always going to soften the look. Now a D is always going to be dramatic, as we know, but a C is going to look a little less dramatic because the curl isn't as prominent. And then when you start jumping into these guys, the L and the M are always going to be much more dramatic, just because how bold and blunt the actual curve, or we call it a curve, but it's more so of an angle, that the M and the L provide. So an M and the L, the only difference between the two is how much of an angle it actually does give. Similar to a D and a C is much less curved, as opposed to an L, also much less angled, and then a D is very, very curly, and an M is much more angled. Now, of course, both sets are gonna give you much different looks. Like honestly, they're gonna look very, very different from each other. The M and L, because they're kind of known for specialty curls, only because they aren't usually used on regular sets. They're usually used for more so unique sets or cat eyes or very, very sharp fox eyes. You can always mix them into regular sets and give that very textured look, but these are definitely meant for specific types of sets that a client is looking for. And just to give you guys a little bit of a visual, when you see it on an actual lash, you can see that when I talk about bonding space a lot, so bonding space is going to be the actual surface area that your extension is bonded to your natural lash. So of course a D, as we know, doesn't have that much bonding space because it curls up very, very swiftly. A C does have a lot more bonding space because it is a softer curl. You're going to be able to attach that extension to the natural lash with a lot more bonding surface than a D would. But then let's talk about the L and M. Now, an L and an M are always going to give you an amazing bonding surface just because they always provide that really flat, straight base. So you're able to attach that to a natural lash very, very easily. Now, the best thing about L and M is it works amazing on straight lashes or downward lashes because it's going to be such an easy application and you're going to have great bonding surface, which could result in amazing retention. Even though I mentioned in my last video when I was talking about curls that you generally want to have your D and your C in your cart, you don't necessarily need an L and an M, even though I'm saying it gives you bonding surface that's amazing. Even though you know that maybe the L and an M is going to work really, really great on a client because they have really straight lashes or downward lashes, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to put an L or an M because, like I said, the shape is so prominent and the look is very, very bold. So maybe that client isn't the best candidate because they're not going to love the outcome. Even though they'll have great retention, it's just not the lash for them. When we're talking about specialty curls like the M and the L, they're ideal for clients that, of course, want that sharp, foxy kind of dramatic set, even spikes, because they are very straight and they don't have much curvature to them. They work really well for spikes in giving that kind of prominent spiked look, but they are amazing for hooded eyes. So if you're a client or a lash artist looking for lashes that are going to work really well for hooded eyes, the M and the L are going to be amazing because due to that flat base that they have, they're going to be able to kind of protrude out of the hooded eye and actually lift the lash line upwards. So L and M is going to be ideal for that. Now, you can also switch up the L and M a little bit. So fun fact, I feel like you don't see this much anymore, but this is something to be aware of and something I'm sure you can find if you really look for it. But a lot of times, because clients that have hooded eyes work really well with the L and M curl, there are a lot of L curl lashes out there that are actually called LC or LD. Now let me show you what that refers to. Okay, so if we take a look at this one, this is called an LD curl. So this is my natural lash down here, and you can see that the L that this curl is referring to is that flat base. So do you see how it has that flat base? Much like the regular L curl, it has a flat base, but the difference here is that the actual curl at the top is a D curl. So what this means is it's giving you that flat base, but once the angle hits, it turns straight into a D curl. So that means when you have a client that has hooded eyes, they're gonna benefit from the flat base that this provides, but then they're also gonna get the look of a regular D curl that's actually gonna show on their lash line, and it's actually not gonna give such a harsh look. It's gonna give the same look that a regular D would, but the L is gonna provide that extra space that it needs to lift the eyelid itself from the hooded eye. Like I said, this is something that I feel was much more common when I started lashing or when I started looking into different curls and things like that. Now I don't find it as common and it's a little bit harder to find. I'm sure you can still find it, but if you are struggling with hooded eyes, that is the answer. You can also get them in an LD, LC, LCC, LDD. You just have to find the manufacturer that will actually give you these curls, but it may not be as popular, so it may be a little trickier to find, but I promise you they are out there. Okay guys, that is it for this video. I hope that you found it helpful. I hope that you learned some things about specialty curls, and if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Any questions on lashing, leave them in the comments and I will do a video on it. But if you guys like this video, if you guys like the info you learned, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll be back with something new next time. Bye.